this episode we're gonna start off with the Trump impeachment. Now, I guess the House of Representatives just passed the impeachment articles to get Donald Trump out of the office. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been celebrating. A lot of people have been happy and everything of that nature. But true indeed, he's going to take it to trial. And when he takes it to trial, the Senate is going to have to preside over the case. And predominantly, the Senate is mostly controlled by Republicans.
Right.
So when he takes it into the Senate and they preside over the trial of the impeachment articles, then we will see if he really will leave office. He's already preparing not to. Like he said, and I quote, they asked him about the impeachment. A CNN reporter asked him, and he said it's a hoax. Like what?
Donald Trump said it's a hoax?
This is a quote. He said it's a hoax.
Right.
This is all quote. Open quotations. Close quotation.
Well, you most definitely teaching me something because I've been catching a glimpse of what's been going on, but I haven't really paid attention to it, and I have my reasons for that. But at the same time, hearing about it from you, it just makes it obvious,
Yeah, man, just get it out to the masses, disseminate it out to the masses.
You said what?
Just disseminate it out to the masses we can all know what's going on. A lot of people know about it and they're celebrating, and I'm trying to tell them it's not really even happening just yet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know about the proceedings that's going on. But I also believe it goes up under one agenda. But before we get into that, the only other person, if he doesn't get kicked out of office, he's going to run again. I don't see any other good candidates. The only other person that can run is Oprah.
I seriously wouldn't mind experiencing Oprah as a president.
Yeah, first black woman, first woman, period. But he said, and I quote, Oprah is insecure. He's already firing shots. But Oprah,
this is some silly shit. I'm sorry, I gotta just say that.
Speak it.
This is like watching WWE or some shit.
You not lying. You not lying.
It's real, but it's fake real.
Exactly.
I can't do it.
Is this a presidential race? Is this politics? Because if so, it doesn't look like it. It looks like an episode of The Real World.
Right.
For real. That's why I've been researching something, and I believe you have a vast knowledge in it. I've been researching something called the Reptilian agenda. And it's like, I believe the Oprahs, the Trumps, and all of them are in cahoots with this together. They already know the plan.
Right.
They set the plan in place, and every step is already being fulfilled. They knew Obama was going to be president before Obama was even president.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the main reasons why I can't get too deep into politics myself, because the agenda is going to play out regardless. The politicians are literally puppets. It's just a seat, and within time, another one is going to replace them, another one's going to replace them, different parties, different houses, but at the same time, the agenda is going to remain the same. And they know that agenda, and it's being planned for. Like you said, they already knew who was going to get elected. The plan goes as far as about over 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So each candidate, each administration, it's literally been an agenda. And if you truly pay attention, you can see the correlation between events and what's really going on.
Yeah. You don't believe it's like a reptilian shape-shifting race that is at the bottom of controlling all this, keeping us all distracted with politics, war, entertainment, and everything. But I'm just trying to understand, for what though? What's your purpose keeping us distracted? To pull the life from this planet? I don't believe you can kill this planet. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel it's a dying star either. I believe they either, you're slaving people? I mean, shit, we work and shit, but we still go home and live happy lives. You still can't take our souls. So it's like, do you believe it's like a reptilian shape-shifting race?
Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, theoretically, we can align all the ancient civilizations, whether it be ancient Sumeria, ancient Egypt. Yeah. We can take it to ancient Rome.
Snakes and reptilians been around throughout history.
Every civilization that ever existed, they recognize extraterrestrials. And every Christian recognizes extraterrestrials, whether they want to believe it or not. Every Muslim recognizes extraterrestrials. Every more, like it's always goes back to extraterrestrials.
Right.
And we just talking about beings that are extra on planet Earth. That's what the term extraterrestrial means. So you don't got to get too spooked out about it because it's really a scientific situation. And I also want to make note that it could also theorize that we are those who have evolved from the extraterrestrials. So we ourselves can be products of beings who came here. And when you read your Holy Bible, it says that in the book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The sons of God came down into the daughters of men. Let us go down and make men. Where you coming from? You coming from somewhere.
But are
down
you saying those who came down were reptilians?
See, the term reptilian is just like saying human. There's so many different types. There's so many different types of humans. So to say reptilian, you are talking about a whole species that theoretically exists not just on one planet, extraterrestrial planet, but several. But even the reptilians can just be one stock of extraterrestrials.
Do you believe reptilian is a mindset and more than a race?
Absolutely. We have a reptilian mind as humans, just me and you, and it coincides with like the brain being connected to the spinal cord.
Yeah, the brain and the spinal cord look like a serpent.
When you talk about the chakras.
The camera, there you go right there.
Yeah.
Brain and spinal cord look just like a serpent. That's all we are, brain and spinal cord.
Yeah, and that was the methodology of talking about energy when you go into the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. So that's another thing. Just because you say reptilian don't mean it's negative. That don't mean it's bad. That don't mean that it's a hidden force that's going against us. You feel me? Because we recognize the snake, we recognize the reptile, we recognize all that, and it had certain meanings in ancient Egypt. So
I believe in like looking at these politics right now. It's like a hidden war that's going on. It's a shadow government versus the overlay government that we see.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why I believe that this reptilian agenda has something to do with it, because I believe that just like in any Bible, Quran, any mystic text or holy tablet, it speaks of wars that are unseen. That we can't solve. In this generation, we speak of waking up and are you asleep? Because I believe being asleep is not seeing the war that is going on right in front of our eyes, whether it's the war with technology that's slowly taking us over, whether it's the war with the rich or the reptilians. I believe the rich are the reptilians. I'm not saying all, but those who control the earth and control the movement of countries to bear arms against each other, that's some reptilian hard knock power. Like a lot of these wars are because of agendas of the rich or the reptilian, and I believe that it's all a game that's played to keep us boxed in.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I say, as a race of higher intelligence, we can theorize that they've actually mixed in with certain Caucasians, Europeans that's in power to this day. So when you talk about the royal bloodline families, there's always a group behind the group. So everybody answers to somebody. There's always a force that's over you.
Right.
So when you talk about Rothschild, Rockefeller, Morgan, Aldrich, all these families that we know about, this might very well much be a cover. You see what I'm saying? Like they just the face as well, but they actually are what we call hybrids. So it's like reptilians that mixed in with certain humans. Maybe they manufactured the race of humans themselves in a laboratory. Maybe they just plucked something that already was here. But this bloodline, that's what it is. It's a bloodline, and it goes back all the way to ancient Rome. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Theoretically, it could have been who was those that rewrote the Bible? The Council of Nicaea. And what was that? Dang. The Council of Nicaea. And I think it was, I can't remember the emperor that was in place at the time. But he could have been a hybrid. You see see what I'm saying? Because these is like pivotal points in history. So only a race or a higher intelligence can manufacture that, you know, on this earth. The way, this how deep the plot goes. See what I'm saying? So I feel like there most definitely are hybrids, and those hybrids go back throughout time. And at the source of all your religion, you have an extraterrestrial encounter. At the source of every religion. You know what I'm saying? Like the three main ones, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Like, it always starts with an interaction from what you would call an alien. They may call them angels. They may call them Elohim or whatever. But it's always that extraterrestrial, you know, interaction with humans in your religions.
Here's a theory I want to throw at you, Black. I was watching the History Channel, or Ancient Aliens. It's crazy. But they were saying when that comet struck the Earth, you know, I say it destroyed all dinosaurs, left them for bones, radiation left on them, whatever. They're saying that these dinosaurs never disappeared. They just evolved into their own humanoid. And some scientists may say the monkey that left the tree began to walk. He became a ape-like humanoid, and he's what we evolved into. But they're saying that there was actually a dinosaur, that the dinosaurs were affected the same way, that reptilian blood are certain species of humans, and also in certain species of also ape, you know. It goes both ways.
Right.
And
well, yeah, that's evolution.
Yeah.
So when you look at evolution, it splits like a tree.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the family
Because it's
tree.
like the positive blood and the negative blood. And I believe these two different blood types that are living amongst each other are still the same different humanoids, whether it's reptilian humanoid or mammal-like humanoid. But I believe like that's why they call it the planet of the ape, because there's more positive blood people than negative blood. So I believe that the small circle of negative blood people are the RH balance of like the reptilian, and the positive blood are the RH balance of that of the ape. That's why they call it the planet of the apes. And I believe that the negative blood people of that RH balance that have that reptilian blood inside them are the people that are slowly placed within these organizations, monarchies or whatever, that help shift and direct history. Now look, the reason why I'm throwing that out there though is, where do you think we're headed? Because we're going into 2020 right now, man. We're going into 2020, the frequency is shifting, and 2020 means one thing. What do you think? 2020 means what? Clairvoyancy, clear vision. See, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, 2020.
I get what you're saying now with the 2020 vision. Yeah.
So it's seeing that I believe what is hidden shall come to light. That which is done in the dark shall always come to light. And when I'm bridging back to what I say, when I was saying I believe it's a shadow government that's at war with the government we see, or the powers beyond that are at war with the powers that be. The reptilians and whatever on the opposite side are actually head and face right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're really battling right in front of us. We don't know. I mean, I know Donald Trump's agenda, but who's to say which side he's on, whether he's on the side of the apes or the side of the reptilians, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's a thing where you really won't know what's going on until you in that circle, or unless you in that circle.
But I believe 2020 is the year of clairvoyancy, to where, due to our intel with communications and the internet, I believe that it's impossible to hide things now.
Well, yeah, and that's why, absolutely. And it's really, you know, a dimensional shift that's been going on. So it's a rise in consciousness. It's being popular to be conscious and be vegan, change your diet. It's the wave. So it is.
Are you woke, brother? It's pop. Are you woke? Say
right. And with that, you create your clowns. But at the end of the day, that's what time it is. It's the cycle of awareness. This is another thing that was always talked about in every ancient civilization, the age of awakening. Some people call it the age of Aquarius. Some people call it the age of the Phoenix. Some people call it the age of Ptah. Going back to ancient Egypt, the first deity. Like, this is the new cycle. So I completely agree with you as far as like, it's the foundation is shaky, and we just be shaking it.
I just feel like the age of awakening is like, this might be a joke, but how awake can we get? Man, we got Bro, I looked on the news the other day. It said a man married his robot sex partner. Like, he got a robot. This is funny, but it creeped me out. He had the robot dummy or whatever, and he was filing to marry it. I think Cat Williams had a joke. He was like, if people that's gonna be marrying the dolls, they're gonna be talking about, I gotta go get it tuned up. I didn't moor it out last night.
Right,
I gotta go get the juices replaced, and I gotta go get the engine. I'm gonna have to go change them juices. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that the world is changing and more advanced and going into a direction even farther of awakeness. And I don't mean to say, I feel like being awake is also bad in a sense.
Here's the thing right here, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
However good a thing can be, is also how bad it can be. You can't do this amount of good without doing this amount of bad in some people's eyes. It's a matter of perspective as well.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
For example, when you look at social media, it's so powerful. It can help you, but it can also hurt you. You see what I'm saying? It's duality with everything. So when you talk about the age of awareness, it's the same thing. People are waking up.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
But not everybody is waking up in the same way. But it's like that though, because that's the concept, not to get too deep in them, but like the concept of the hero and the supervillain. Mm-hmm. Like, it's another person out there that's just like you, but he's kind of the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna clash with him. That's like how people beef. And sometimes it could be a girl, you attract a girl that you're messing with, and y'all clash. And your, obligation is to handle that. Like, you gotta grow from that.
Right.
But once you grow from that, you're gonna clash with somebody else, and it's just all levels, like being tried. So it's definitely like not just good. It's also creating bad. But that's, the time that we living in. It's like the times of war where it's like the real jihad, the battle itself.